Do not attempt to adjust your device screen. We are in control of the broadcast. We control the horizontal. We control the vertical. The time has come. Please stand by for a live transmission from Halloween Daily News. That's right. Yes, yes, yes. Light up those pumpkins, everybody, because we are live. It is Monday night. Let's see who else is awake and alive out there tonight. Hello, Haddonfield, and happy Michael Myers Monday. Welcome to it. If you're new here, my name is Matt. We are Halloween Daily News, and this sweltering summer slasher celebration of murder and madness that you just found yourself in the middle of is what we like to call Michael Myers Monday Live, our gathering celebration of all things Shape, Myers, Haddonfield, Halloween, and beyond. So, if you're new, thanks for being here. I hope you'll hang out for a little while. And to everybody else, what is up, y'all? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for joining us tonight once again in prime time at our special early start time of 8:31 p.m. Eastern this evening. It is Monday, September 1st, 2025. In some people's definition, the first day of fall. Some people's definition, the first day of Halloween season. Some people's definition, something called Labor Day. Of course, for us, every day is Halloween, and every day is Michael Myers Day. It's just on Mondays, we do it up just a tiny bit more, if you know what I mean. So, like we always say, if you made it here, that in itself is worth celebrating. You made it through another week since our last live broadcast. You made it through another Monday, nonetheless, and here we are, gathered once again. So here's to you guys. Thank you for hanging out again. If you're new, the live chat is open. Super chats are enabled. Think about becoming a channel member. All of you, it's just $5 a month, and you get early access to all of our exclusive interviews and tons more pre-recorded content. I appreciate you guys hanging out with us. I see a lot of friends checking in the live chat already. I appreciate y'all finding us here at a special early start time once again, a little bit earlier than our late night slot, but we did this last week and it felt so good, and we're so excited to hang out with you guys again. I wanted to do it again this week, Got a really busy week behind the scenes going on. We've been talking a lot about our Halloween International Film Festival. Tickets went on sale today. Hit up the website, HalloweenDailyNews.com. Hit on the film festival link, and you will find details, including all of this year's official selected films. 5 feature films officially selected. Over 20 shorts, mini Halloween themed, all horror of all sorts from all over the world. Check it out. And like I said, tickets just went on sale today. We want to pack out the legendary Pioneer Theater. It is a 250-seat theater. We've got it for 3 days and nights. Come joining us, hang out, and enjoy everything else happening in the town of Manio here on the Outer Banks during our festival, because we are the official kickoff event of Halloween Island in Manio, North Carolina, here on the Outer Banks. So I'll be playing a little pre-recorded promo about that a little bit later on for anybody that doesn't know, but hit up the website anytime and you can see all the films. The full screening schedule will be dropping later on this week. Lots of cool options. One more thing I want to make sure I let you guys know. I always say it at the top, just during Michael Myers Monday Live, because we don't offer this discount any other time, or at least we don't advertise it any other time. It's just for you guys, Triple M crew. That is MMM15 Triple M15. Use that code and you get 15% off anything currently in stock at our online store at HalloweenDailyNews.com/shop. Just go to HalloweenDailyNews.com, look at the menu, and you can find details on the film festival, on the shop, and on all things Michael Myers and everything else we've got going on that we're covering right now at HDM anytime. Phil has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Will not be in the chat. Okay, watching his sister Hazel. Oh, wow, okay. What's up, Jason? Thanks for being here. Drowning in Music is back. What's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. The great David Hyam has checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday to you. Brett Patrick, one of our illustrious channel members. Brett, thank you so much for being here, man. Great to see you. I love seeing you in here, man, and we definitely appreciate you being a channel member. Who else has checked in? I saw Byron checked in earlier. Megan checked in earlier as well. Great to see you guys. Happy Michael Myers Monday to you all. This is going to be a very loose show and not a ton of breaking news since our last gathering last Monday. But I do have some updates on the Halloween video game that we're going to break down for you. And maybe another news bite or so. And then the main kind of meal of tonight's program is going to be some show and tell, because I got some new merch finally to share with you guys. Some bargain merch at that from Dollar Tree, from Five Below. We're going to be talking about that, and I'll be giving my thoughts, and I want to hear your thoughts on these new additions to the collection. Again, happy Michael Myers Monday to you all. I appreciate you being here. Before we get out of here, we're also going to be taking a little road down Haddonfield Past, as this weekend marks the anniversary of Rob Zombie's Halloween 07 remake. I might just have a flashback video or two regarding that one to come before we get out of here. And, of course, we'll do some shout-outs and some poll results before we get out of here. So all that good stuff to look forward to, and who knows, maybe another surprise or treat or so along the way. What's up, man? Chris is here. So when we get new vinyl for this Halloween, well, the soundtracks expanded are up for pre-order right now. Hit it. Jason Yost says, can't wait for the video game. Yes, we're all so excited about that. That is the biggest news out of Haddonfield of the moment, for sure. And again, I've got some exciting news, what I would call exciting, what I think is very encouraging more comments from Halloween producer Ryan Freeman that we're going to talk about. But before we get to that, in addition to the sales launch today of the Halloween International Film Festival, which, by the way, just so you guys know, this isn't Michael Myers fan films. This is truly independent horror films, and often cases Halloween themed horror films. We also have a strong selection of shorts made in North Carolina here. So it's indie horror is what the film festival is, not Michael Myers fan films or anything like that. Um, all independent horror, and this year we have 28 films in total, including a lot of premieres. Again, you can find out more about that at HalloweenDailyNews.com. And when I was talking about the online store, here's just a little bit of what we do have in stock currently at the moment. We still got a few of the trilogy masks, um, very few of the 2018s, a lot of that vintage wall decor we still have in stock, a couple scare fresheners even, a couple action figures, Michael and Laurie. If you haven't got your H2 Michael and Laurie, some haunt masks. We got Captain Spaulding figures, got the HK prop knife, all that stuff currently in stock right now. Use code MMM15 for 15% off when you shop our online store. All right, the first little news bite, I hit on this last week, but it had not been confirmed. Now it's been officially announced and confirmed, and people are flooding the internet with their purchases of finding these Fanta soda cases that are for the Halloween season of 2025, featuring Universal Pictures horror icons, including Chucky, the Grabber from the Black Phone, of course, Freddy Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy's in the upcoming sequel, and no less than Michael Myers himself, the Shape from Universal's Halloween 2. And this is an official photo. There is a Megan can out there as well, but this is an official photo from the press release, and I'm going to read you just a little bit from that official press release that came out just a few days ago as we are recording this. It says, ahead of this Halloween season, Fanta, Universal Pictures, and Blumhouse are delivering chills and thrills like never before with a global partnership that sees 5 horror icons come together for the first time in the ultimate Halloween lineup. The partnership sees icons Chucky, Freddy Fazbear, the Grabber, Megan, and Michael Myers united over one insatiable craving, Fanta. Across the globe, fans can expect to see the cult and modern Halloween characters on the hunt with a series of experiences in the run-up to Halloween. They may be from very different worlds, but this time they share the same desire. They all want Fanta. So the official press release goes on to say not only are these horror icons chasing and gracing the limited edition Halloween collection packaging of the classic Fanta flavors, but for a limited time they're also after Chucky's custom flavor, Chucky's Punch. And this is a fruit punch flavor Fanta available worldwide. And currently, as we speak, alongside all 5 icons on cans across the full Fanta flavor range. Portraits include Chucky on Chucky's Punch, the Grabber on Strawberry, Freddy Fazbear on Orange and Orange Zero Sugar, Megan on Grape, and Michael Myers on Pineapple. I love me some pineapple, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the pineapple, but, I mean, I do think they kind of missed a golden opportunity. I mean, why wouldn't you have Michael on orange or blood orange even? A special blood orange for the season? It's all about Chucky this year with Chucky's Punch. Maybe next year they'll give us a special Haddonfield blood orange or something like that. But in any case, there you go. I'm seeing tons of people scoring their cases with Michael on it, and these other icons. Again, Megan's in there too, not pictured. A lot of people scoring them at their local Walmart stores. I was just at our local Walmart just the other day, and I didn't see them yet, but I'll be on the lookout for sure. How about you guys? Are you gonna be throwing back some Michael Myers pineapple flavored Fanta for your Halloween 2025 season? And what do you think about these cross promotions in general? Because that's not the only one we're talking about tonight. You're about to see Michael on some unlikely products here. Maybe unlikely. Once upon a time, certainly unlikely, but not so much now. But let's see here. Checking in on the live chat. David says, I heard the Halloween sounds from John Carpenter and I enjoyed it. Yes, sir. It's it just always brings joy to the heart to hear that Carpenter music. Jason says, thought the same thing. Michael should have been the orange. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't they? Pedro's asking if they are store exclusive. I don't believe so. The press release, let me go back over here and see if I see. I don't see anything about it being exclusive to Walmart. Now, it does say in the press release that Michael Myers on the pineapple is a U.S. exclusive. So Michael on the pineapple not available officially outside the U.S. Megan on the grape, however, will only be available via freestyle machines in select cinemas across the U.S. and in Universal theme parks. So there's your answer on Megan, why she's a little harder to find. She's only available via freestyle brand machines in select cinemas across the U.S. and at Universal theme parks. Michael on the pineapple only available exclusively in the U.S. So the rest available globally, and that's directly from the official press release put out by the Coca-Cola Company. And that press release is dated August 27th, 2025. Brett says just got the H1 pumpkin metal tin sign and the H2 pumpkin mug from Spirit today. Very cool. Yeah, that H2 pumpkin mug looks awesome. Very cool. All right. It was just at Walmart earlier. I hear you. Yeah, I was too, but mine didn't have it yet. All right, before we get into the merch, we are going to do our video game update because we've got some new images to look at, new that we haven't discussed here yet, and some very cool comments from Halloween producer Ryan Freeman that we're going to take a look at here in just a second. But first up, I'm going to play you a quick 2-minute promo all about our Halloween Film Festival. Again, this is original indie horror happening here on the Outer Banks of North Carolina, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I hope you guys will think about joining us. You can see the full lineup of selected films at HalloweenDailyNews.com, and tickets are on sale online right now. I'll be right back. The time has come, the moment has arrived. The Halloween International Film Festival is back from the dead in 2025, happening at a new, iconic venue that dates all the way back to the silent film era and the dawn of cinema itself on the historic and haunted Outer Banks of North Carolina. This October, the resurrection of the Halloween International Film Festival in October 2025. showcasing shorts and features that celebrate the strange, the unusual, and of course all the horror and wonder of the most hallowed of seasons. Taking place on the Outer Banks of North Carolina at a legendary theater that dates back over a century. The festival features 3 days of independent horror and Halloween-themed films from around the world, as well as networking opportunities and instant media exposure, all taking place as one of the kickoff events for the town of Manio's Halloween Island festivities. Films selected for the Halloween International Film Festival will be shown on the massive big screen at the Pioneer Theater, including Q&A sessions with attending filmmakers, nightly meet and greets, photo ops on our orange carpet, and numerous Halloween Island festivities happening each day in easy walking distance throughout the town. The Halloween International Film Festival is happening October 2nd through 4th, 2025 at the Pioneer Theater in Manio on North Carolina's Outer Banks, presented by Halloween Daily News. Yes, sir. Happening this October. Again, here on the Outer Banks at the legendary Pioneer Theater, featuring original Halloween horror. Halloween International Film Festival. Come hang out with us. Bring the Halloween flavor to Halloween Island. All right, and another cool merch update that I want to talk about. This came out just a few days ago. The Australian company Imprint is releasing a box set including the first 5 Halloween films, Halloween 1 through 5, in 4K and Blu-ray. And the coolest thing about it is that it comes in a very cool case, storage case, display case, which is basically a replica of the Halloween 78 opening credits jack-o'-lantern. And here it is. This is what I'm talking about. Here's a good look at the whole set. Again, you get Halloween, the original, 1978. You get 1981 sequel, Halloween 2, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, and Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Now, this does come out of Australia. You can see here the price tag, a cool $500, and that's not including shipping. But as you can see, it is already listed as out of stock. So people clearly not letting that price tag getting their way of wanting to own this new set. It was stated that it was strictly limited to 1,000 copies, and everyone is individually numbered. So it didn't take very long for those 1,000 pre-orders to go out. Whether or not they're going to make more, I mean, I kind of think they will, considering how fast they went. But they're saying strictly limited. Now, you know, the look of this pumpkin looks really good in what we can see here. Even the detailing, seeing some of like the scuff marks over on the left side, and how that area under the eye is kind of messed up. I mean, it's not like a generic recreation. It looks like a really highly detailed recreation of the opening credits pumpkin. So, no doubt, a really cool collectible for sure. Let's see if we can get another look just while we're here. Yeah, I mean, I really am impressed with, at least in these photos, the look of the pumpkin. And here is the back side of it, so you can see how the discs all fit in. And they've got a nice spine that all is new and works together to form a nice image of Michael there when they're all displayed on the back. I mean, that is very, very nice right there. Especially those spines, and of course numbered. So a really nice looking set here from Imprint. Um, Again, the price range, even if they weren't out of stock, I wouldn't be able to swing that at this moment. But I know some of you collectors in the audience have probably already pre-ordered. You're probably one of the thousand. If we've got any of the thousand who snagged one of these watching, let me know. And if you didn't, let me know. Is it just not worth it? Because again, that's the price. I don't know how much more it would be to ship here to the States, but definitely wanted just to bring that to your attention because I mean it is a cool set. It is a really cool set. I mean, I would love to have that pumpkin. I wish they would, sell the pumpkin minus the films even just to put our existing collections in there. Maybe, maybe that's an idea. I don't know. But let's see. Anyway, you guys give me your thoughts on that new box set. Jason says, I'm sure it will pop up on eBay eventually. Oh, yeah, eventually. Brett, the H1 Pumpkin Metal tin, is that online on the website or is that just in stores so far? Because I don't know if I've seen that, or maybe oh, I do think I know the one you mean. Is that the the poster image? That's the metal tin sign. I think that's the one you're talking about. Matt, I didn't get it. Pat said he didn't either. Yeah, Sam agrees. It's 500 and only 1 through 5. That's what I'm saying. It's not the complete collection. That's what we really need. And I'm old enough to remember. Gosh, it was a decade ago. I think in 2015. I'm pretty sure that epic box set that was the complete collection, and it was Anchor Bay and Scream Factory teaming up and putting out everything that had come out up to that point, up through the zombie films. Um, of course, I did comment on the at the time, it was a perfect release, except it wasn't technically the complete collection because it didn't include the zombie theatrical cuts, only the director's cuts, which, many people may prefer, but still, we're talking complete. But that's another story. Um, yes, Brett, I agree. Brett says, I'd say if they did all 13 films, it would be worth the price. Yeah. Excuse me, guys. Very cool. All right. So, as you all know, the biggest news in Haddonfield at the moment is the Halloween video game. And it's only been just a little over a week as we're recording this since we got news that it is now dated for release. Not dated, but it is set for release. It is aiming for release, planned for release in 2026. And we got that teaser trailer that we've all been enjoying. We've gotten a lot more details about the game coming out, and some great images that continue to be released. So we're going to look at a few of those right now, and then we're going to take a look at some more comments that I would call very exciting, very encouraging comments on every front from Halloween producer Ryan Freeman. So first of all, let's jump over here. And this is the most recent image officially released since our last live stream. And you can see it as Michael just kind of peering through the window, doing his stalking thing. And I think this, along with everything that Ilphonic is putting out about the play, I mean, we know that you're going to be able to play as Michael and do a lot of sneaking around. So again, not a whole lot to that image to get super excited about, but it's Michael doing his Michael thing. Let's pull up a couple other images though that we haven't had a chance to look at yet, and definitely get me even more pumped. Like this image of the Myers house. How cool is this? I mean, it looks great. And there's the shape there. Just again, shape is shaping over here in the corner, lurking, stalking, just like we want him to be. Got the Strode Realty sign. Got all the details that we know and love. I mean, every detail. The fallen gutter. Looks awesome. Another great image here is Michael inside. And I believe this is inside the Myers house, or it might just be a random house. Yeah, it doesn't really look exactly like anything we would recognize from the Myers house. Although, as we talked about before, we're going to be getting so many different angles of and looks at locations that we are familiar with, but have never really gotten to explore, like Smith's Grove and Rabbit Red, for example. We know that's coming. And then this awesome image right here. We know now Nick Castle performed the head tilts and the walking and who knows how much else and what other mannerisms, but all the Shape's iconic mannerisms. I don't know about the sit-up, but all of that definitely recorded by Nick for sure. And this image, Michael looks awesome. Let's zoom in just a little bit. I mean, everything we're seeing from this game so far looks really cool. And everything we're hearing so far, because again, I'm reading your comments, many people's comments on our social media posts, on the official Halloween movies and Halloween games social media posts. There's a lot of worry, a lot of concerns about this. And as we talked about in our last report, Halloween producer Ryan Freeman has really, to his credit, been very active on his social media posts, responding to and answering a lot of questions and in many cases worries and fears about this game. And we talked about some of his responses previously, and what I'd like to do now is I'm going to pull up some more recent ones and some other comments that he has made in response to some of the people on social media with legitimate questions about where this game is going. And I think some of these comments are encouraging and some are just downright exciting. So this is all from Instagram and from public comments posted in the last week or so since the late August announcement about the game from Halloween producer Ryan Freeman. And here in response to somebody who comments, please don't let Michael get bullied in this game. He's an unstoppable force in F-13. It got to the point Jason was simply bullied. And Freeman responds, you don't have to worry about this. So again, I mean, it's nothing specific, but just making clear you're not going to have to worry about this. I didn't play enough of the F-13 game to know about those issues, but apparently Michael getting bullied will not be an issue in Halloween, the video game. In response to, I hope y'all put out a gameplay video in the near future just showing off how both sides will play and even what story mode will entail. A lot of us are wondering how deep it'll go. Ryan Freeman responds, quote, soon and more than just stealth, with a wink emoji. So very exciting there. It sounds like we're going to be getting some official gameplay footage soon. And again, what does soon mean? It can mean anything. Soon could mean tomorrow, soon could mean next week, soon could mean next month. But as we're recording this, it's Michael Myers Monday, September 1st. I'm going to wager that soon in this case means sometime between now and October 31st, we're going to get our first look at official gameplay footage from the Halloween video game. Again, that's just pure speculation on my part going from this comment, but that's what I would guess soon means, sometime between now and Halloween. Oh, that's the getting bullied again. Let me pull up the next comment here. Another fan says, I've waited for this reveal for many, many years. Thank you for your part in making this project a reality. And Freeman says, quote, this has been a long time coming for us too, and took a while to get here because we wanted to make sure it was done right. Again, very encouraging to hear these words. This is another one after a lengthy post about expectations, high expectations, and frustrations with Friday the 13th. Freeman responds, quote, seeing all comments, especially on the portal, meaning HalloweenPortal.com, the official website. He continues, quote, more to share in the near future. That said, I believe what we have planned for both launch and long term will make the majority of fans and players very happy. And we talked about that before, that according to these comments from Ryan Freeman, having a long-term plan for the game was of most importance to the producers. In response to a fan who says, will it still have that I have to escape type gameplay where we can actually escape and get away, or will we only be able to fight him off and stop him? I like it either way, but being able to escape is a deal breaker for me. And Freeman responds, quote, you will get both ability to fight, but also escape and help others escape. So a lot of people that have been wondering about the different modes and options, we're getting a little bit more of a clearer picture. You will be able to get both ability to fight, but also escape and help others to escape. So you can be kind of the hero character, the Loomis or the Laurie character in this. A fan asks, quote, are you able to confirm that there's an offline story mode to this game as well? I'm understanding or interpreting single player as just playing against bots, end quote. And Ryan Freeman answers, quote, yes, offline single player story mode. And again, addressing worries. We talked about this in our previous report, but addressing worries specifically about Gunn being involved and previous experiences with Gunn on the Friday the 13th and Texas Chainsaw games. Ryan Freeman responds here again saying, quote, Gunn is financier / support. IllFonic, lead developer, and have a track record of supporting games long term. Ghostbusters, Predator, Killer Clowns. Making sure this was a long-term, well-rounded game, including robust single player, was a threshold matter for us. End quote. A threshold matter for us. So, again, I mean, addressing people's maybe their biggest concern of all here head on, and again saying that, you know, yeah, Gunn is part of this, but they are not the developer. They are financier and support. It is an IllFonic developed game, and they're the ones behind it. And lastly here, but maybe most exciting, check this out. A fan asks, again, on Instagram, this looks absolutely and utterly and totally fantastic. Will there be extensions of the sequels in future DLCs? And Ryan Freeman answers, quote, Hmm. No comment? Question mark? Exclamation point? End quote? No comment. Hmm. Now, that's no confirmation, of course. That's literally no comment. And it's definitely not a yes. But, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's kind of as close to being a yes as you could say without going on record and saying yes, right? Um, that to me, knowing nothing other than what we're seeing here in black and white, but that to me suggests that yeah, down the road, once the game is out, all the talk about future plans being so important and a threshold matter for them, and then to hear him have that kind of cryptic answer when asked specifically about if sequels could be involved down the road, I think that is as close to a yes as we're going to get before anything official, which will most likely be years after the game is released, or at least a good time after the game is released, I would imagine. But let's see it released next year. Let's see it break all these sales records. Let's see it be awesome. Let's see them do DLCs where you can get young Michael as the clown, or Judith before she's dead, and all these different things. Different Smith's Grove characters and stuff like that. Let's see all that come out, but that to me totally says that they are thinking about what we want them to be thinking about. Them, yeah, they could bring in, and if not all the sequels, certainly, I would think the early ones, part 2, part 3, maybe 4 and 5. Who knows? I would love to see. And as we said before, as far as the masks, even if it's not an official, H2O mask or whatever, they could find a way to work it in there. The same way the Friday the 13th franchise worked in so many of Jason's looks from that franchise. So all of those comments sound super exciting to me. All of these new looks we're getting at the game look amazing. But I turn it over to you guys. You guys are the experts on this. So you guys tell me what you're thinking, what you're feeling so far, and do these comments from Ryan Freeman have you more encouraged, more excited than you were before hearing them? Let me hear what you think right now. I'm going to turn over here into the live chat and read some of these comments. Jason says it would be cool if they licensed Blue Oyster Cult's Don't Fear the Reaper. That would be badass. That'd be really good. I'd love that. I am assuming they're going to have Carpenter music in it. I mean, we shouldn't assume anything until it's official, but I mean, I said last week that, I mean, Carpenter being involved, I think it's just a given. He is such a gamer right now at this point in his life, and is into this stuff anyway. And then the music, I mean, they've got to have that, right? But I want to hear him and Daniel and Cody compose new music, like specifically new music for the Halloween video game. I think they'd be all about it. I think they'd get into it and like it. I think Carpenter would, and obviously we'd be here for it. So, but yes, if they could include Don't Fear the Reaper, I'm here for that too. I'm so here for that. David says the game will work, especially if it is around John Carpenter. Yes. Yeah, and it sounds like it's not going to get canceled. I mean, again, according to all these comments, that was a very important to them to have a long term plan. So it does sound like let them do everything they can with 78, and then give them some time. And it sounds like certainly they've discussed involving the sequels in some way, expanding it in some way. And I think that's awesome. Again, we're going to have so much news coming out about this. I'm guessing soon on the gameplay. Again, it's September 1st. Hopefully soon means between now and October 31st, right? But there's going to be so much more exciting news, like the announcement that Nick Castle has done motion capture for Michael. There's going to be voice cast that is I'm sure going to be filled with names of people that we know and recognize, and it's probably going to be very exciting. So I'm looking forward to all of that for sure. So you guys keep the conversation going here in the live chat. Give me 1 minute, and then we're gonna do some Michael Myers merch show and tell. Stay tuned. All right, we are back live. It is Michael Myers Monday, September 1st, 2025. Happy Michael Myers Monday, y'all. That is the news roundup for this week. Now, it's been a while since I had a show and tell for you guys because I haven't bought any merch, Myers related merch anyway, for a minute. But then again, Michael Myers hasn't been in Dollar Tree ever before either. And now, I can't believe it, but the day has finally come where Michael Myers and all of our favorite horror icons have found their way into Dollar Tree stores. Dollar Tree, y'all, that's where these socks come from. Officially licensed Halloween 2 Michael Myers socks at Dollar Tree. I couldn't resist. I mean, because for the life of me, I can't remember ever seeing an officially licensed Michael Myers product at Dollar Tree. Now, if you haven't been to a Dollar Tree in a while, a dollar isn't what a dollar used to be. Everything at Dollar Tree is now priced around $1.25, where in these socks case $1.50. But that said, I mean, come on. When can you get a Michael Myers anything for $1.50? So I had to pick them up. Y'all know I love some Halloween too. I got a couple pairs actually. And then as soon as I got home, you get all of them. And I was like, I don't know. Why didn't I? I should have. Because, yeah, I was thinking, well, I probably won't wear them. I'll probably just, have a pair just because they exist. It's one of those items. And it's like we live in this world where these things exist. But then I was like, well, maybe I would wear them under the right circumstances at a convention or something. Maybe I would want to. So I got two pairs, but yeah, I'll probably go back and get some more. Or maybe they'll just make good stocking stuffers. Get it? So anyway, for $1.50, you get again, it's officially licensed. Got Michael up there, Universal, all that good stuff. We got this image of Michael right here. And it's got Halloween 2. And I did go ahead and open the other pair so you can see exactly how they are. So this is the one pair, and it does matter if you're wearing left or right, because if you want Michael on the outside where anybody can see, on the outside of the calf, you don't want to put it on the wrong foot. So it's the Halloween 2 wording across the bottom of the foot, and Michael on the side, and then just black on the inside. So they are clearly left and right, unless you put them on the wrong feet, and then you're going to have Michael just facing inward, and nobody's going to know that you're wearing these cool Michael Myers socks. So that's what you get for $1.50. Now, if you're wondering, I did try them on. And first impression is they are a lot more thin than I was expecting. Like, they're thinner than the socks I wear normally on like an everyday basis for sure. But that might be a good thing as far as keeping myself cool at like a convention or something. But again, they're the type socks that I would not wear on an everyday basis. Special occasion for sure, because they're Michael, and also because they are super thin, and I would probably wear a hole in them after wearing them just a few times because they're very thin. But for $1.50, they're officially licensed Michael Myers socks, and yes, I could see possibly wearing them at an event, at the right event, maybe. I could see considering it, but I could definitely see going back and getting a few more just in case. But to me, the headline here is truly that Michael Myers has arrived at Dollar Tree, officially licensed Michael Myers merch. And not just Michael, if you saw our Hallow Hunting video, it's all of the slashers. Jason, Freddy, Chucky, the Gremlins, Beetlejuice. They're all in there. Nightmare Before Christmas. They're all represented. It's pretty cool. Horror icons at Dollar Tree. I love that. So, again, not top quality socks by any means, but about what I would expect for $1.50 from Dollar Tree. So these will stay like they are for history because this falls into that category that I've talked about before of items that, sometimes I just have to own it. Like the Michael Myers rubber duck, like the Michael Myers socks. I just have to own them because they exist. And I know these aren't the first Michael Myers socks ever made, but they're definitely the most affordable, so can't beat a killer price on some Myers merch. But let me know what you think about these shaped socks. $1.50. All right. But that's not all, guys. I got another new item just yesterday, I think it was. Was it yesterday? I guess it was, as we're recording this. I went to my local Five Below. Shout out to Five Below, where I got this shirt last year. Well, this time they had a bunch new Halloween stuff out and some returning Halloween stuff. And I finally got my hands on this guy. This Michael Myers, officially licensed Halloween 2 ornament. But not just any ornament. This is a Hallmark ornament. An actual Hallmark ornament. I mean, how crazy is that? Now, I'm pretty sure he is the same ornament that Five Below had last year. And I never was able to find one. And I didn't even realize that he was an actual Hallmark ornament last year. I just thought it was amazing that he was $5 at Five Below. I did find the Art the Clown ornament at Five Below in 2024, but not the Michael. But so here he is, and he's holding his knife. The mask looks a little funky, but certainly not in proportion. He got the big head. But how cool. And again, for the broke horror fan like me, the broke Halloween fanatic, I mean, come on. How can you not? So I had to pick him up. Again, probably should have picked up a couple extras for $5 each, but I only picked up this one. But I think he's awesome. And he does stand on his own. Just if I want to stand him on the shelf. I'll probably hang him on our Halloween tree when I put it in the living room here soon. But there you go. Michael Myers back at Five Below in ornament form from Hallmark. Can you believe it? Again, we live in a world in 2025 where Hallmark makes officially licensed Michael Myers ornaments. Happy Halloween and happy Michael Myers Monday, everybody. How cool is this? How killer is this? Now, again, I know some people, don't like the commercialization of all things shape as much as I do. Some people don't accept it. Again, I talk about it all the time that sometimes certain items, it's just that they exist at all, that we live in a time where they exist at all, because I'm old enough to remember when they didn't, when there was basically nothing, almost nothing officially licensed Michael Myers out there. You'd get your occasional shirts, but even then, most of them, had to be found at conventions until like your Fright Rags and Cavity Colors and Gutter Garbs started coming along in the last decade or two. Um, but as far as figures and all that, like I remember when the McFarlane figure first came out, it was amazing. The first NECA, it was unbelievable. The first Michael bobblehead, So yeah, I'm old enough to remember when there was nothing. So the fact that there's so much, it's so unbelievable. As I've said here before to you guys, it's an amazing time. So shout out to Five Below for bringing Michael and so much horror in there. There's other items in there too, like in fact, when I was in our local store, there was, and I'll have the video up probably tomorrow, but there's a new shirt, or at least new to me, a different shirt. This one I got last year, but there is a different one that they had in stock. This one, very cool. I really like it, and I would have bought it, and I'd be wearing it here tonight, but they just did not have my size. They had no XLs in stock, or I totally would have bought this for $5. The one I'm wearing, I got for $5 last year. They had this one again back in stock, but this is the newer one for 2025, or at least a different one in my eyes. I never saw this one available before. So while I was in there, again, all this cool Michael Myers merch, and then and Halloween merch on a budget. Oh, I see Michael Myers himself is lurking in the live chat. Very cool. Silently, of course. Okay. That's not all, though. I did make another purchase, two other purchases, actually, while I was in the Five Below. Because on my way out, I noticed, hey, they've got those H2 figures. Now, you will recall last year, I bought the Five Below Michael Myers figures. And we talked about them here. Here, I'm going to take them off the stand. And so we can look at both of them here. These are the two figures that I got from Five Below last year in 2024. Officially licensed from Halloween 2. One he's holding the hammer, one he's holding the knife, and he's in flames. And we talked about these on Michael Myers Monday Live, and I've published a showcase video that you can check out elsewhere on this channel. And these figures, again, how cool, officially licensed Michael Myers figures for just $5. Well, they're back in 2025, back in stock at our local Five Below, but I noticed right away, and I thought I had noticed when I was seeing people post pictures of them that this year they're rocking a slightly different look, a slightly different paint job. And I thought I noticed in pictures online that people were sharing that Michael had some blood splatter all over him this time. He had the blood tears last year, but there's no blood splatter anywhere. And he does have the bullet holes, if you look closely. So I looked, and sure enough, Five Below now has a slightly new variant. And I don't know if you can tell on there, but he is covered in blood splatter this time. Exact same figure holding the hammer in the same kind of awkward pose. Still with the blood tears, only now covered in blood splatter. And that's not all, because the back of the box is a little bit different too. In fact, it got me thinking, well, if they changed the back of the box to update it with the new blood splatter Michael, what else did they change? So I went back and pulled up my other box from last year, and you can see there's a couple changes. First of all, this is for my collector geeks out there. Packaging in the original 2024 version, slightly taller. Other than that, the same front. The back, different. Now we've got the new blood splatter figure, and of course now we got this red imagery behind. Also, now we've got Halloween 2 nice and big across the center. In the original version, much smaller up in the corner. And you can see the rest is the same, except for when we get to the top here, where you can see a slightly different top. The original over here has a little bit more of the window up top and just the title treatment, whereas here, no window up top, title treatment at the bottom. Well, we got a picture of Michael with his blood tears right there up top. And when I brought this home, I was like, yeah, I don't remember Michael's face being on the top of the packaging like that. So I pulled out my box. This is why even when I unbox my figures, I always save them. I can't trash any of these boxes, even if it only costs $5. But this is why I always save them, so I can go back and refer to it. And I guess I've got the unboxing video to refer to too. But so there's the difference right there, and they are slightly different. And like I said, exact same mold of the figure, just an updated paint job, basically. So that's the difference on that one. Now, then I looked at the In Flames figure. And I looked at him and I said, well, he looks different too, because I think he got an updated paint job too. Because I don't remember the Flames looking that vibrant and that hot, honestly. And sure enough, it wasn't just my imagination. Yeah, the Flames got a total upgrade as well. Here's the original version, last year's. And you can see they're much more translucent here, darker obviously. And now they don't really have the translucent look at all, but they're much brighter, much more flaming bright. Obviously a lot more yellow on the new version. The old version just very orange. The yellow's very subdued. And again, the biggest difference, to my eyes anyway, is the original version has a more translucent look to the Flames, whereas the new version, not translucent, but much brighter, much more instantly identifiable as, oh, he's on fire. And again, the new version has the new packaging. You can even compare, because I got both my boxes out, because I know some of you guys are curious about these things like I am. So here's the comparison of these two boxes. And again, I mean, these are not figures that are like, you look at the mask and it's like, oh, that's a perfect H2 sculpted mask or anything like that. But for $5, they're pretty damn cool. And yeah, I was pretty surprised to see the updated paint job and the slight change in packaging. So you guys give me your take on all of this, these changes, and what do you think of these $5 Michael Myers figures? Um, yes, I probably will still unbox the new ones. I haven't filmed any showcase video or anything with them yet. And these are so easily, repackageable as well, that as long as I save the box well, I could always even repackage them if I want. So I probably will end up taking them out. But then again, I might not, just because sometimes, while I typically will unbox my collectibles, especially my figures, because I like to photograph them and see them up close and play with them and all, but then they all do get dusty and all that. Every now and then, if I've got duplicates or variants like this, where it's the same but slightly different, a slightly different variant, like the Michael Myers Toonie Terrors, NECA put out their original H2 version and then a slightly different alternate version where they changed the paint job a little bit. I've got both versions, one out of the package. The other I decided to keep in the package, at least for now, because I've got almost the same thing out of the package. So I don't know. Maybe I'll do the same thing here. Keep these new versions in the box for now. I mean, again, they're $5 a piece. That to me is amazing and awesome that Michael Myers is in Five Below. I think these are pretty cool. I would love to see them do some more, and if they've got H2, I know H3 is so much more niche and not as universally loved or even known as H2, but man, wouldn't it be amazing if next year Universal licenses the Silver Shamrock Kids in this scale? Oh my god. Come on. I would be so all about that. A lot of cool stuff in Five Below. Sam from Trick or Treat has made his Five Below debut this year in a Lego style assembly kit that I didn't buy yesterday because I bought these, but I'm probably gonna have to go back and get them because again, $5. But give me your thoughts on these figures. Is this an upgrade or not, in your opinion? Do you think it's worth another $5 for the variant paint jobs? Whatever you think, give me your thoughts in the comments and right here in the live chat. And again, these items, if they are available at Five Below's website, I will include links down in the description of this video after we get done here. Again, I scored mine at our local Five Below here, and there was tons of other cool horror-related, I was about to say content, collectibles there. Not just, Halloween decor, but a lot of like new figures. Just a lot of cool stuff in there. The October checked in. What's up, man? 60 days until Halloween. In prime time season as of today. That's right, prime time season. We're in prime time on Michael Myers Monday. Thank you for hanging out with us. David says, I love the figures, especially done by Universal of Michael Myers. Yes, sir. Barf is checked in. What's up, man? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Dr. Loomis in the house. That is a demand. That it was hot too as well. Yes, sir. Dr. Loomis in the house. We got Michael in the house and Dr. Loomis at the same time. Look out, guys. It's about to get hot in here if it's not already. Saturn, what's up? Happy Michael Myers Monday. Got to meet James, Courtney, and Brad Laree Saturday. Awesome. Love it. Very cool, everybody. All right. Keep the conversation going on my bargain shape scores, my Five Below scores, my Dollar Tree socks. Am I crazy for buying all this stuff? Should I just save up all those small money purchases and spend on something more expensive? Am I crazy? Are you somebody that hates to see Michael at places like Dollar Tree and Five Below? Personally, I'm thrilled to see it, honestly, because it's aside from the fact that it's affordable and there's that aspect which is nothing to sneeze at, but it just shows the massive universality of Michael Myers and this whole franchise. That it is truly everywhere. You name it, you name the product, you can probably find Michael on it somewhere. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so as we're recording this, it is Labor Day technically, and Labor Day weekend is of course when Rob Zombie's Halloween remake was originally released in 2007 and broke records and was the #1 movie over Labor Day weekend for like over a decade. And so all the cast have been sharing a lot of memories over the weekend. And I figured I'd do the same. We'd take a little stroll down Haddonfield Pass. And I'm going to share with you now a clip from my exclusive one-on-one video conversation with Scout Taylor Compton. This goes all the way back to 2022. We had a great interview, very relaxed, very extended. She was super forthcoming on just all kinds of details that I was geeking out and curious about just, getting the role of Laurie Strode, because we all forget and we take it for granted. I mean, I still can remember, again, I'm old enough to remember 18 years ago when the hype for that movie, 19 years ago when the hype for that movie was in such overdrive and everybody was just so excited. And say what you want about that movie or those films now, but man, the hype was off the charts, and to bring Michael back in such a big way. And the pressure was on for Scout as the new Laurie Strode. I mean, we all remember, Jamie Lee Curtis coming back in 2018 and how massive that is, but this was a big deal to take on this iconic role as the second Laurie Strode, and really still, so far, only the second of two. So, so in this clip, we talk a little bit about that and about the pressure and about getting introduced to you guys, the most passionate but best by far fan base in all of horror. So check out this clip, this flashback clip to my exclusive interview with Scout Taylor Compton talking Halloween '07. You were so familiar with. You mentioned that growing up you were somewhat familiar with Michael Myers. So by the time Halloween '07 comes along, how familiar were you at that point? Had you seen the original film or any of the other films? I mean, were you at all familiar with the franchise or John Carpenter's original?
So I had seen the movie, like my mom had shown me the movie when I was like in my teens, like early teens, because she'd show me The Exorcist, she'd show me like Texas Chainsaw Massacres, all these movies.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that I like remembered. And I didn't really realize, I mean, I was 17 years old when I was auditioning for all these movies, and it was the Untitled Rob Zombie project. And I kind of learned very fast how massive the horror genre family fan base was. I didn't realize how massive that was a thing. Because I was just making movies. I don't know why I never thought of like the fandom, like the fan base around it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when I discovered that, when, you know, that love for this genre, and especially for, you know, the Halloween franchise, the Michael Myers franchise, was when people started comparing me to Jamie Lee Curtis when I booked it. And you know, that it was a bunch of mixed feelings. And one thing I did was, you know, after the process, after I realized what the fuck it was,
Yeah.
when I booked it, I started freaking out. You know, everyone was like, Jamie Lee Curtis, this girl's gonna suck, she's gonna tank. Like it just like all these cruel things at
Yeah.
17. And I remember I popped in the movie like almost one of the days before filming. And you know, I was like, oh my God, I've got to be like this woman. Like I'm going to let all these people down. And I remember I walked on set, and, you know, Rob had read everything that was going on, and he kind of pulled me aside, and he was like, I cast you for a reason. I didn't cast Jamie Lee Curtis. I cast you. Like, this is your Jamie,
Right.
you know, your Laurie. So I was like, okay, all right, well, I've got to like let that nervousness go away, you know, a bit. But I kind of got a fast knowledge of the franchise and the fan base before the first day of filming. So I was kind of prepped and ready, and just like, you know, just worked my hardest just to kind of, you know, let that all go and just, you know, play Laurie how I saw her and how I felt. And yeah.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is a great performance. And can you talk to us a little bit about that, getting the role? Like, the auditioning process, like what was that like? Because again, like you said at the beginning, it was the untitled Rob Zombie project. I imagine at the early stages you didn't even realize it was the Halloween remake at that point. You just knew it was Rob Zombie's next film.
Yeah. So Rob doesn't like to meet actors in person. He likes to watch self-tapes. So that's initially what it was a self-tape. Okay. And the self-tape went in, and I didn't hear anything for like a month. And then finally I heard that, you know, they wanted to have me do a chemistry read. So I was like, whoa, that just like sped up. So I went and did a chemistry read, and I remember I went to this office in LA, and I was sitting on the couch, and I just look up, and there's just this huge wall of just photos of everybody that's been cast in the movie. Everyone's been cast in the movie except for Laurie Strode. So, and then I see my photo just right in the middle. And it was the most surreal thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I had not, you know, I didn't really know Rob Zombie. I knew that prior I had watched Devil's Rejects on a set, and I remember saying out loud, I'm going to work with that director one day. That was like the only thing I knew. I didn't know what he looked like. I didn't know anything. Mm-hmm. And all I see is like these I'm like looking down because I'm like super nervous, and I'm just like looking at my lines and hoping that I don't fuck this up. And I just, all of a sudden I just see these massive boots, and I'm just like, it's like a movie. I just like look up, and there's like 70s like jeans and like punk shirt and then beard and hair, and I'm just like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, this guy's so cool. And he's like, hey, I'm Ron, you want to come on in? And so we did this this read with the, you know, the cinematographer like filming, and I'm just like on the ground like acting with like an assistant. And then all of a sudden Danielle Harris comes in, and I'm like, hey, how are you? I don't know who you are, but what's up? And, you know, and then I like instantly realized who she was. I remembered her from the Halloween movies, mm-hmm. and Wish Upon a Star. So I was just like, what the fuck is happening? And so then I read with her, and then I left, and it was the craziest feeling. And I left like, you know, every day I was like, did we hear anything? Did we hear anything? And then nothing happened for a bit. And then finally, after a few weeks, I got another call for another chemistry read. And I was like, okay. So I go in. This time they're prepping. Like, they're getting all the looks together for everybody. So everybody's in there. And I remember I took a van with Dee Wallace, and she was like, "They really fucking like you, don't they?" And I was like, I hope so. You know, she's like, "Yeah, they really fucking like you." And that was like the only thing she ever said to me. And, you know, they dropped her off to do screen testing. And then I met up with Christina Klebe and Danielle Harris. And this is my hair is red, like I have extensions in. And they're like, let's just walk and talk and do another screen test. And so we did that. And then I went home. And then I think it was like 2 or 3 days later, I found out that I got the part, changed my hair, it was crazy. It was insane. But I did find out from Rob that I was the first self-tape that Rob saw.
Okay.
And the only one that he wanted.
Wow.
Which is super special. Like, honestly, I mean, he's just, I admire him so much. And I think everything that he does is just such a cool, unique experience. So it was definitely unique getting it, and the experience itself was rad. Honestly, like, that whole experience just changed my life.
And again, you can check out my full interview with Scout in the interviews section of this channel. I highly recommend it if you haven't yet. It's a fun one. Yeah, we're big fans of hers, obviously. As some of you guys are saying, her work in those films was just outstanding, and I agree. And we get into all of that. Barf, thank you so much. Says this is a fantastic interview as always. She seems so cool and down to earth. Yes, she is very cool, very down to earth. Again, if you haven't watched the whole interview, I would highly recommend it. If you like that clip, I mean, that's just 7 minutes of about an hour conversation that we had, and it's definitely one of my favorites that we've done here over the years. Now I'm going to play a clip from another one of my favorites, one of Scout's many co-stars in Halloween 07 and Halloween 209, the great Tyler Mane himself. And this was recorded about a year or so after that conversation with Scout. And again, this is a similar point in my conversation with Tyler where we talk about getting the role, the all-important moment that changed their lives when they found out they were going to be spending some significant time in Haddonfield with Mr. Rob Zombie. And it would change their lives forever and embed them into ours forever as a result. So check out this throwback clip to my exclusive interview with Tyler Mane. And you guys had worked together just a little bit on The Devil's Rejects, right? Was that when you first met Rob, I guess it was?
Yeah, I just auditioned.
Okay.
I didn't know that they were replacing the Rufus.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was auditioning for DDP's role.
Oh, okay.
But they had other plans, and I went in there for 4 days of filming, and I thought, okay, that's it, you know. And I had a great time, got to meet a lot of cool people, and then a little while later, I get a phone call, and it's Rob, and he says, "Hey, you know, I'm making this movie, and I wrote it with you in mind, and if you don't do it, I don't want to do it." So I'm like, "All right, cool. What is it?" You know, and then he explained how he was going to tell the backstory and make him more than a one-dimensional character, which I think is really cool because it shows his backstory of how he became a product of his environment.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? Yeah,
and I was going to ask that if it was just a phone call like that Rob called you, or if there was any audition or anything. But he literally told you, if you don't do it, I'm going to walk away from it.
Yeah, and it's funny because I remember hearing afterwards, he was, I think, on Jimmy Fallon or one of those shows, and they said, "Oh, do you know who's going to play the character?" And he goes, "Yeah, I do, but I don't want to say because then he'll ask for more money." I'm like, damn.
Oh man.
Yeah, he knew all along.
Yeah, he definitely had you pictured for his portrayal. And like you said, it was very striking because none of the movies had ever spent that much time on the backstory. And I actually had your co-star Dave on here not too long ago, earlier this year, and so this is another full circle moment for us here at HDN. But we had him on here and we talked about that, how it was like you're seeing Michael, behind the scenes and getting inside Michael's head. And that's really what I like about Rob's movies is it's much more about what's going on in Michael's head than any of the others, where it's the others are about, the victims or the survivors. And
Right.
Whereas he really wanted to dive in there and get inside his head.
Yeah, and show you just the dark deepness of Michael Myers, which was cool.
And like you said, a product of his environment.
Yeah.
So, obviously you were familiar with the character. Were you like a fan of the original film? How familiar? What was your relationship with Michael Myers prior to getting that role?
I was semi-familiar with the character. I'd seen the movies in the past, but I got to admit it didn't compute completely until I went back and did my research, and I was like, oh man, I got some big shoes to fill. So, and then Rob and I were just talking and saying how we were going to do it, and it turned out pretty good, pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love how it turned out, and of course, it made a ton of money at the box office. Held the Labor Day box office record for like a decade, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
14 years.
Yeah, 14 years, and yeah, last year was the 15th anniversary of that remake, and this year, 16 years of that, 45 years of this whole franchise. And you said when you went back and watched, you started realizing, all right, I've got some big boots to fill, we'll say. But when did it really hit you? Was it after the film came out, or at what point did it really hit you that you were part of this kind of elite fraternity of guys that have worn that mask on screen and this massive legacy with this massive fandom?
Yeah, I realized it was pretty big and that it had a big fan following. But when I was at the age 40,
yeah,
I was like, we were taking these pictures with everybody, and I was like, who's that guy? He goes, oh, he was a Michael Myers and so-and-so, and I'm like, how do I not know this? There were so many people in that picture. I was like, and it was just people that were related to the character, that.
Yep.
And, at that point, I realized just how big it was.
Yeah, and I remember seeing that photo you're talking about of that epic gathering, and
yeah.
I'm sure it'll be done again at the 45th. And of course you guys came back together. You did the sequel. Was that just an easy decision when Rob called again? You were just like, hell yeah, I'm in, or did he have to convince you of?
No, I was signed to a 3-picture deal actually.
Oh, okay.
And we ended up doing 2 of the 3, and the third one was put on the shelf because Rob wasn't going to do it, But Scout and I were going to do it back in the day, and they were going to greenlight it and everything, but they didn't know who was going to direct it or where the script was coming from or anything like that. So
I got you.
And I'm kind of glad they did, because it wouldn't have. I don't know that it would have had the same weight that Rob's did, which is very important.
You mean if another director, another creative team came in?
Someone else would have come in and tried to, take those reins, so to speak.
Yeah, I know what you mean. And I remember when they first announced the 2018 film, and you, I think, might have been the first person from this, from previous films that weren't necessarily involved in the new ones, that I remember you on social media, you were like, hey, this is great. I think it was right when they announced that Nick and James were going to be doing their thing as the new Michael, and you were like, this is awesome. I'm thrilled to have had my time and thrilled to pass it on, and I remember seeing that at the time, thinking, that's pretty classy and cool, that just wishing the next iteration of this character well, because as we all always say, I mean, Michael's so big, he's going to be reinvented long after we're all gone. I think.
So many times, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And with playing him twice, I was like, okay, every time I want to do something, kick up the volume,
Yeah.
So if we would have done a third one, I wouldn't know what we would have had to do to make that kind of an impact. Because from 1 to 2, two is way more aggressive than the first ones in that, and because I just don't want to be. I didn't want to be just doing the same thing every film, because it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, what's the purpose of that?
Yeah. And and I know you and Scout have remained tight, and whenever I see you guys or pictures of you guys on your social media out at conventions together, you're always having fun, goofing off, and have remained friends, almost like a family, which is cool for us as fans to see.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We are pretty much pretty much like family. And it's the way it is with all the characters, Danielle and Christina and all of them. Like when we run into each other, it's just like, hey, how is like no time has passed practically. So it's really cool. It's really cool.
What would you say has been like your most surprising thing about this 16-year journey from getting that role and doing that rewatch of those films and kind of realizing, and then now here we are looking at the big 45th anniversary of the whole franchise and everything. What's been like? Is there one overriding thing that surprised you the most?
Just just how big the fan following is, which is fantastic. Because like without you guys, the fans, we wouldn't have a job. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Well, I love what you did in the role, and I know tons of our readers and viewers do as well. So now with 45 years coming up, you're doing something really cool there, and it's going to be raising money for a great cause, and you've been doing it at some other conventions, and I want to hear about that, but maybe you want to tell us a little bit about what your new project is first, because that ties in with this great charity that you're working to raise money for now. So maybe you can tell us a little bit about your latest project.
Yeah, sure. I've got my own production company, Main Entertainment, and we're doing a graphic novel. So imagine Sons of Anarchy meets True Detective with a human trafficking theme. So what I've been doing since we did our research for this graphic novel, I've decided that I have to do something to give back to the community and to people. I'm teaming with deliverfund.org and Trafficking in America Task Force.org to help them raise awareness and get their message out. But we are doing a Kickstarter that goes live October 17th for this graphic novel. It is written by Christopher Priest, who wrote the Black Panther, Punisher, Vampirella. I think he's written some Captain Americas. I mean, he is the man. And then we've got art by Will Conrad, Jimbo Salgado, Michael Montenot. And then we have various different artists doing various covers. And they are top tier artists. And I am so excited, and I can't wait to bring it all to you people.
Oh, yes. Excuse me. Where are we? We are lost in the dark here. Here we go. Back into the light. We're back live here, Michael Myers Monday. Check out my full interview with Tyler elsewhere here on the channel under the interviews tab. That was from about 2 years ago. Again, super proud of that one. Check out that along with all the other interviews. I hope you enjoyed those flashbacks celebrating the 07 remake and this weekend's 18th anniversary of that. All right, we're going to look at some poll results right now. You will recall last week we asked what characters other than Michael Myers would you be most excited to potentially play as in the Halloween video game? And we threw out some characters like Dr. Loomis, Laurie Strode, Jamie Lloyd, and Corey Cunningham. And of course, you're always welcome to write your own in. So with 85 votes, Jamie Lloyd came in 4th place with 5%. Corey Cunningham actually beat Jamie Lloyd to claim 3rd place with 11%. Laurie Strode comes in 2nd place with 16%, and the overwhelming winner with 68% of the votes is Dr. Loomis. I agree. Of those, he'd be my first choice of who to play as. Multi-Green G comments Jamie 100%, and David Hyam here tonight in our live chat comments Jamie Lloyd and Dr. Loomis. Yeah, I think Jamie Lloyd and Dr. Loomis would be my first choices as well, but if I gotta choose just one, probably Loomis. And again, going back to earlier in tonight's show and those comments from Ryan Freeman, I mean, that does seem to hint that possibilities like playing as those characters could be possible down the road, or at least incorporating those characters into the game's narrative in some way. All right, we're going to do a couple quick shout-outs before we get out of here this evening. Starting out over on Blue Sky. This was posted today by Ernesto Olivo. Happy Michael Myers Monday, sharing his Slay All Day Halloween 2 mug. And shout out to Ernesto. We see you posting regularly every week over on the Sky. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Let's jump over to the Gram. This is posted by witchywoman.11. And this is that new Halloween 2 mug from Spirit Halloween. You know, I did not pick up the 78 pumpkin mug that Spirit had last year. I think it might be back this year. I kind of want it, but man, y'all know what a sucker I am for the skull pumpkin, the poster pumpkin from H2, and I love this. And oh my god, this might be the coolest Halloween mug yet. And I've got quite a few of them, you know, in my collection. Like, here's one of them right here. I've got a few, but I don't have that one yet. And I might have to add that one to my collection. I really love it because I love anything with that skull pumpkin H2 poster pumpkin. Also from Instagram, this was posted today by the Shape 86 saying it's meteorological first day of autumn on this Michael Myers Monday. F yes. I don't know if it's meteorologically accurate that it's first day of autumn, but hey, it's September 1st. It's Michael Myers Monday. Every day is Halloween, so we'll agree with you there. Very creepy photos as well. Happy Michael Myers Monday to the Shape 86. And one more shout out. This one also from Instagram, posted by Speedy Myers 01. Happy September 1st, and we're almost close to happy Halloween spooky season. I don't know about almost close. I think we are close. I think we're in it. I think we're in it. But then again, we're never not in it. We live in it, don't we? We live in it. You guys live in it, I think. I think you can definitely relate. Barf says, is there an interview with someone you really want to do that you haven't been able to yet? Oh, I assume you're asking specifically related to this franchise. Anybody that I haven't interviewed yet that I really want to? Yeah, there's quite a few. You know, obviously, you know, having had the opportunity to interview John Carpenter almost 10 years ago now, about 10 years ago, that, you know, that was the number one want until then. So, and I'd still love, you know, another conversation with him. But ruling out anybody that I've ever interviewed on the record and only people that I haven't, and limiting it to just this franchise and to people alive. Because if we're going to say living or dead and just elevate this to a what if, then yeah, the number one would be Donald Pleasance. He'd be the number one person from this franchise to interview that I haven't. If we're going fantasy realm of living or dead, if we're talking in reality and stuff that could actually happen tomorrow or next week or next month or next year, yeah, yeah, number one on my list from Haddonfield would have to be Mr. Malik Akkad. Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be the biggest interview I could get for this for me anyway. To talk specifically Michael Myers, because of all the people that have been a part of it and lived it and breathed it their whole life, outside of Carpenter and of course, the late Deborah Hill, obviously Jamie Lee Curtis, but yeah, Malik, number one for me would be my number one pick. I could pick lots more, but I don't want to be here all night with that. But that's a great question, Barth. Thank you for that. But yeah, all time, living or dead, Donald Pleasance, if we're talking Halloween franchise who I haven't interviewed, and all time, currently still with us, absolutely Malik Akkad, number one on my wish list for interviews for sure. Ryan Freeman would be pretty high up there too. Definitely would love to talk to him on the record sometime. It was so cool meeting them both, as briefly as it was, but just so cool to be able to meet them both and talk informally and shake their hands at the H45 event in 2023. Definitely one of the highlights of that whole weekend for me. Absolutely. Thank you for that question, man. That was a good one. Happy to answer any of that stuff that I can whenever I can. But yeah, I've been lucky. I say it all the time. We've been doing Halloween Daily News for about 13 years now, and I've been so fortunate to interview so many amazing people from this franchise, and I've met even more that I haven't had the chance to go on the record with, like, the great late Charles Cyphers and the great late George Wilbur. I feel very fortunate that I did at least meet them. I never got to actually interview them, but I met them. I got a photo with them. So, there's even more that I've been able to meet, and specifically from this franchise, from outside of Haddonfield as well. But yeah, very lucky to have interviewed so many, and we're going to do lots more as well. I want to bring some more guests on live like we did last year, do some more Triple M live sessions. The last one we did was Halloween week last year, where we had Carmela McNeil back for her second Triple M live and Nancy Stevens at the same time. It was just an amazing evening. One of my favorite live shows we've ever done here. So definitely want to do more of that, and hopefully, you never know, maybe we can get some friends from Haddonfield stopping by over the next few weeks. I think we got about 9 or so Mondays between now and October 31st. So a lot of cool stuff coming your way. Hello, Sonia. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Thanks for hanging out. David says, I think you should have an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis. Would be great. Hey, I'm all for it. I'd love to interview Jamie Lee. Are you kidding? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I hope to someday. We will. Let's see. Isn't that how it works? Speaking it into existence. Oh, we're going to. We will. Yeah. Just like Malik. We will. Yeah. It'll happen sooner than later, right? Is that how it works? All right. This has been great, guys. I can't believe we've been here almost 2 hours. It's almost 10:31, our normal start time. But thank you for hanging out early again this week. Let me know what you think about this earlier slot, if we should think about keeping this going or drop back into our normal late night slot. I kind of feel like maybe my energy is a little bit more up being 2 hours earlier than previously, but I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I got a lot going on right now. Anyway, a lot with our film festival. Keep an eye out. Like I said, tickets are on sale now. I hope you'll come out and join us. If you're watching this on a replay, comment on everything we've talked about down in the comments below. All of you that have hung out here tonight, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for participating in the live chat. As always, thank you for the great thank you for the great questions and for everything else. You guys are amazing, and I've had a blast. I can't wait to do it again. Lots of cool stuff coming your way right here on the HDN channel. I hope you've checked out my latest interview with Colin Krawchuk, writer-director of The Jester and the new Jester 2 Halloween slashers is what we do here. So if there's a new Halloween slasher out, you know we're going to have the creators and maybe the men behind the mask and the mask creators all here. That's what we do. So check out that interview if you haven't already. I hope you will. Barf enjoys this time slot. Very cool. Jason likes it as well. Awesome. All right. Well, yeah, you guys, the rest of you guys, let me know what you think. I'm kind of digging this earlier time slot. So again, give us your thoughts on everything we talked about here, either in the live chat or down below in the comments. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Think about becoming a channel member. Turn on notifications. Share. All that good stuff. And until the next one, I'm Matt Arts. For Halloween Daily News, thank you all for watching, for hanging out, for participating. You guys are the best. I mean that. You guys rule so hard. Happy Michael Myers Monday. Good night, Haddonfield.